3 years ago, I reviewed the Disney film that is Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey, which was actually a remake of the classic film of The Incredible Journey, only had actors providing voices for the three animals, even though we don't actually see lips moving. You know what I'm saying? You probably already know that. But now, 3 years later, it got a sequel, and can you believe it's been 3 years since this came out? Believe it, they're back, but this time they're lost as their family goes to Canada, but tries to come back and get them when they return. Here's my review of Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. Bad Days, Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1996 adventure comedy flick Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco, released by Disney, directed by David R. Ellis in his feature film directorial debut. The film features the same three pets from the first film: Shadow, the golden retriever; Sassy, the Himalayan cat; and Chance, the American bulldog. However, only Sally Field and Michael J. Fox returned, because this time Ralph Waite took over the voice of Shadow after Don Meach passed away in 1993, just after the release of the film's predecessor. Well, this film's predecessor. You get what I'm saying. It also features a big cast of voices and what have you as well. Plus, Robert Hayes, Kim Greist, Veronica Lauren, Kevin Chevalia, and Benj Thall all reprise their roles from the first film as well. Now, the movie did pretty decent, what have you. And, well, what can I say? This is sort of an underrated sequel, though, but I will say it was pretty good, in what have you. Well, it didn't quite come close to its previous film, but however, it did quite good here in the US, but we don't know about it worldwide. Now, I would recommend you watch my review of Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey before you go into this. I'll give you a few seconds to do that before I get into the film story. Okay, now let's get started. 3 years from the first film, the Seaver family, owners of Shadow, Sassy, and Chance, are about to take a vacation to Canada and have decided to bring their pets with them. At the San Francisco International Airport, the animals escape after Chance panics while mistaking airport workers for the workers at the pound after his earlier actions angered young Jamie, causing Chance to believe that Jamie was sending him back to the pound. In frenzy, Chance breaks free from his carrier. Shadow and Sassy follow his lead, and together, after eluding airport authorities, the animals find themselves in the city of San Francisco. With home on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge, the trio set out once again to find their way back. As their journey begins, Chance unintentionally runs into a boxer and his bull mastiff friend named Ashcan and Pete, respectively. Territorial of their terrain, Ashcan refuses to let them pass. As Shadow attempts to explain to them that they are only seeking to find their way home, Ashcan and Pete threaten that they are going to eat Sassy. Ooh. Shadow begins to fight Ashcan while Sassy hides safely high upon a nearby windowsill. A group of streetwise strays, well, stray animals, of course, known as Riley's gang, join the confrontation and help overpower Ashcan and Pete. The group explains to the trio that the city is not safe for domesticated pets. In the scuffle, Chance had run for safety, and Riley sends a member of the gang named Delilah to find them, where she explains that they mean no harm. Shell and Sassy make their way through downtown with the rest of Riley's gang when a vehicle known as the Blood Red Van appears. Riley instructs that they all take cover and explains that the van takes stray dogs off the streets to a place called the Lab. He further explains that he avoids cars due to their relation to humans, and he does not trust humans at all, acknowledging their differences regarding humans. Xiao and Sassy express their thanks to the group and continue to make their way towards the Golden Gate Bridge. While Chance and Delilah make their way through the city, Chance asks about Riley's distrust of humans. She explains that Riley was abandoned by his owners when he was a puppy, having to adapt to survive as a stray. He created his gang to protect all stray animals from humans. When they make their way through the park, Chance begins to be romantically interested in Delilah. As Shell and Sassy continue through the city, Ashcan and Pete continue following them. When the pair come upon a house fire, and upon hearing the discussion of frantic parents and the San Francisco Fire Department battalion chief, they realize that a young boy and his kitten are still inside the house. Shao rushes into the home through the basement window to rescue the boy, while Sassy falls after him in search of the kitten. Shao exits moments later with the boy by his side as the porch collapses following a sudden backdraft of flames. Please stand by. Sorry about that. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, now I remember. Sassy joins the rest with a kitten thereafter. Upon witnessing their heroics, Riley and the gang praise their actions and resolve to help them find Chance before returning to the gang's hideout. Upon arriving, they discover that Chance and Delilah are already there. Riley begins to explain to the romantic couple that they are too different for each other, but together they disagree with his assessment and sleep outside the safe haven. Now for the final act and ending, you know the procedure. You have got 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. The following morning, Chance begins to chew on a tire while noticing the blood-red van approaching. He is captured and abducted by its drivers who intend to take him back to the lab. He is, well, as the vehicle drives off, all the animals work together to stop the van and free Chance as well as the other dogs in its cages. As the drivers try to avoid the attacking animals, a member of the gang named Bando enters the van, puts it in reverse, and backs into the water. Reunited, the animals celebrate their victory. Delilah begins to explain to Chance that they may be too different for each other after all, only for him to run away from the group in frustration. Riley agrees to accompany and help Shao and Sassy reach the Golden Gate Bridge. Just before crossing the bridge, the pair are once again ambushed by Ashcan and Pete. Chance joins the fight, scaring off the attackers. Together again, the trio cross the Golden Gate Bridge and find their owners. The family returns home with their 3 pets, as they soon as they were afraid that Chance was lost because, well, he was in the way of a big truck coming this way, the family was right behind it, but they were lucky. But they got them, and well, Chance and Jamie, actually in a way reconciled. Well, Chance is still saddened about his perceived loss of Delilah. Shortly thereafter, during a family picnic, Delilah joins them, having found her way to the home of the family. Bob agrees to allow having another dominant family, and thus Chance and Delilah are reunited as the family continues having their meal. Well, sort of, until Chance kind of gets in the way of the pizza delivery guy in the end. Yeah, causing Chance to chow down on the pizza. End of story, for realsies. So what did I think of Homeward Bound 2 Lost in San Francisco? I like it. I like it as much as the first one. Well, there may not have been others, but nevertheless, I still found the film to be very enjoyable. Had a little bit of emotional depth between Chance and Delilah, which I actually kind of didn't like, as a matter of fact. Though the film may have done did fine, but not as big as its predecessor. It went on to make 32 million domestic ticket sales. Well, which I don't know on the budget though. But anyway, The film's reviews were kind of mixed, though. Rotten Tomatoes has a score of 56. Let's see. And noted film critic Stephen Holland praised elements of the film, stating the film may not entirely avoid the coyness and sticky sentiment associated with Hollywood anthropomorphism, but it does a better job than most family films in projecting a child's eye view of a world where siblings and pets are equally cherished members of the family. Audiences polled by Cinema Score gave the film a B plus. Anyway, I must say it's really good. This is a film I would say go ahead and give it a shot. If you like the first one, I'm sure you'll like this one. The score, composed by Bruce Brompton, was pretty good. The story was written by Chris Haughey and Julie Hickson. Well, it wasn't too bad. The film was directed by the late great David R. Ellis in his feature film directorial debut. He After this, he would mostly do horror films and what have you, which included Final Destination 2, Cellular, and let's see, Asylum, and Shark Night. Oh yeah, and don't forget, oh boy, please don't shoot me for saying this. The Final Destination, aka Final Destination 4. Well, now, the only non horror film he actually did, well, was the 2004 action thriller Cellular. Well, not to be confused with other films by that time, but no way, I'm getting that mixed up with some other film. Apologies, folks. But anyway, yes. Of course, he was a second unit director on various films like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Matrix Reloaded, and Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World. I will say he does a pretty good job in his direction, what have you. So this was pretty good. And thus that started off a career for him. And his next film wouldn't be for another 7 years, and that was Final Destination 2. Anyway, now for the cast, we have Robert Hayes back in the role of Bob Seaver. He's still pretty good. Kim Greist back as his wife Laura, good. Benj Thall back as Peter, Veronica Lauren as Hope, and Kevin Chevalia as Jamie. They're all really good. Now we have Michael Rispoli playing Jack and Max Perlich as Ralph. The two drivers be the two well the driver and the other at the blood red van. Yes. That was really something. We even get a little appearance by Will Sasso, who of course is currently seen on Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. Of course, he recently appeared in the final few seasons of Young Sheldon. Of course, after this, he would go on. Well, after this, I think it was after or before this. No, I think it was kind of right about the time he actually appeared as a police officer in Susie Q with Amy Jo Johnson, which I definitely need to review that someday. Maybe I will. He played the pizza boy in the end, which fun fact gave a little Easter egg. It said, and because the name of the pizza place was Sasso's Pizza. Can you believe that? Okay, for the voice acting cast, we have Michael J. Fox once again voicing Chance, and he's still real good in this. Sally Field once again returns as Sassy. She's good as well. Now, of course, since Don Ameche passed away after the first film was released in '93, taking over his role is none other than the late great Ralph Waite, who you mostly would remember as John Walton Sr. of the Waltons fame. And of course, he would later go on to appear on NCIS and Bones, and lots of other shows and movies. Now, for other voices, we have voicing Ashcan is John Polito, who has been in numerous films and and TV shows. Yeah, pretty good. Voicing Pete the Bull Mastiff is Adam Goldberg, who of course would appear in numerous movies and TV shows, so I've got to give him credit. Let's see. Um, Okay, now for the rest, we have Sinbad. I'm sure you know who that is. He voiced Riley. He did good. Of course, after this, he would actually appear as Mr. Wheat in Good Burger. Voicing a Shetland collie mix named Sledge is Tisha Campbell-Martin, who, of course, well, recently appears a teenager on the cult classic dramedy series of a musical, Rags to Riches. And, of course, she's done numerous other shows. She appeared on Martin and lots of other series. Voicing Bando is Stephen Tobolowsky. He actually would go on to appear in the underrated Mr. Magoo film after this, but he would appear in other films like Garfield and what have you. Let's see. Voicing the Portuguese Podengo Stokey is Michael Bell, who is a big time voice actor. He had already lent his voice to shows like the Super Friends, G.I. Joe, and the original Transformers, and the Smurfs and Darkwing Duck, and numerous other cartoons. Who may I mention? Ross Mallinger voices Spike, the Jack Russell Terrier. Let's see. And then we have Carla Gugino as Delilah. She does a great job. They're all really good. We even have some big sports stars voicing three canine commentators at the game later on Jamie's at. Like Al Michaels voicing Sparky Michaels, a rough collie. Tommy Lasorda as Lucky Lasorda. They actually use the last names of these stars. A black and white Havanese. And Bob Euchre, whom we sadly lost in January of last year as, let's see, Trixie Euchre, a German Shepherd. So anyway, yes, you got to admit the cast is really good. So overall, I found this to be pretty good. I really like the atmosphere of the film. And the San Francisco, it was just so good. I really did enjoy it. So Homeward Bound II, Lost in San Francisco, a really good sequel to a good film in Homeward Bound, the incredible journey. If you like that film, I would think you'll really love this just as much. So check it out. This film is on physical media and it's also streaming on Disney Plus. I thought I'd give that to you just in case. So, what did you think of Homeward Bound to the Lost in San Francisco? I almost said the first one. My apologies. Tell me what you thought about in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of, the first of a few awesome kickin' chick flicks. First up with Firecracker. So if you like this, check out some of these other films that involve animals. Here's two animated films that I've recently talked about. The upper left-hand corner is my review of Zootopia, which celebrated its 10th anniversary not so long ago. Look for a review of its sequel coming up in just a few days. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Disney and Pixar's newest film, which is out now, Hoppers, which has actually now redeemed Pixar themselves after the humiliating failure of their last film. Or you can go to the bottom left hand corner and you can see my review of the Garfield movie from 2004. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.